Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I should first thank China Connect to give me this opportunity to speak here. But at the same time, it's the most challenging period of time. It's right in the middle of the afternoon session when the adrenaline level is draining down. So I believe there's coffee outside. And also appreciate Andrea's excellent speech. And from a courtesy point of view, I have to say everything my client says is correct. So here, this is me. I'm Chinese, but I worked in different countries through my career. I was not beginning at the service agency. I worked for a few multinational companies, so I could see my client business from the other perspective. That is, someone's really running the business. And then in 2012, I came back to China, and then at that time, digital and e-commerce just started to boom. So I started working together with my partner to set up a boutique service agency called Bysoft, and then it was acquired by a Publicis Group in 2015. And right now, we are serving many brands. A lot of them are global brands like FMCG brands like P&G, the Nestle, Coca-Cola, and also we work with like Moleskine, quite boutique. Quite premium, but they have their own unique brand positioning and also their unique way of communicating to the consumers. And also, we put our insight and research of the consumer behavior and the consumer's interaction with the brand into the digital ecosystem. So what we do, we basically do the branded e-commerce experience and the performance in China. Back before 2014, many people have a myth in their mind that e-commerce is about setting your products online, for example, Taobao, Tmall, JD, and then you will sell. But that that period of time has already expired, unfortunately, because many brands have already set up their online presence, and the competition hence become more and more fierce. And then by just listing your products, and people will go there actively looking for you, this becomes rare and rare. So what brands will need to do is to have the right communication strategy and then implementing in a good rhythm of the communication campaigns in order to raise the brand awareness and then strengthen the communication of your brand value and also the activation activities to drive for a conversion. So this is what we do. We basically do the branded e-commerce experience and performance in China. So I put here like a crystal ball, what we can see through this e-commerce world. E-commerce world in China has many different players. So look at here. This is the top consumer categories by purchasing percentage. So a lot of them the penetration has already exceeded 50%, 50%. So a lot of them are the FMCG and also the fashion apparel, and also the books, music, and including like luxury collections as well. Although this is emerging, still it's gaining a lot of traction and awareness. So if we would like to see where are the growth, what categories or which channel is growing faster than the other, we will say first, higher tier products. Consumers are more looking at a holistic shopping experience. In the past, we say that O2O experience, but right now we give it a new term. It's called like omni-channel 2.0. So this is a holistic shopping experience, both online and offline. Cross-border is another thing because Chinese consumers, they have been elevated through the past few years, particularly driven by the food safety, trustworthiness, and also a broadened perspective when they travel abroad, that they are exposed to more merchandise, more consumer products that has certain extent provide a unique user experience. So cross-border is also another faster growth category. The other one that is growing very fast is like lower tier. Lower tier is more about penetration because e-commerce does provide an easier access and to a lot of categories like food and beverage, mom and baby category. E-commerce is sticky. We interviewed many moms. What's your shopping behavior from changing your shopping destination from supermarket to e-commerce, and they say the first thing is convenience, because I do not need to queue for the checkout and then deliver a very heavy milk, infant formula milk and diapers by myself. And then e-commerce in China is so convenient. Just click the button, repeat my shopping cart, and the products are shipping at my door in 24 hours. So a lot of the high penetration and the faster growth categories are usually the FMCG and also the food and the beverage. So we are looking at these two categories as the fastest growth consumer products categories on e-commerce. But they are not really different. When Andrea showed like a typical iPhone screen that people will have a lot of different icons. It's the same thing as the shopping icons. In my mobile, I have approximately over 10 shopping icons. I have Tmall, I have Taobao, I have JD, I have Yihaodian, I have a lot of mom and baby categories. The reason for that is that many Chinese users are not loyal to only one single platform. It is unfortunate to say that Chinese consumers are not loyal. I'm sorry about that, but that's the reality. Maybe to their husbands and wife are, but to the shopping, no. The statistics say that 63% of the Chinese consumers have approximately 2 to 3 different shopping apps. And then they will go to those apps for particular brands or categories and also for some occasional shopping. So later on, we will say that why is that? Because the consumer behavior for different categories will also vary from one another. So a typical platform mix for cosmetics. The biggest one still Tmall, because Tmall gives a first entry, and then a lot of cosmetics brand will first do a good branding in front of consumers. And a good branding, Tmall is the #1 platform in China. And then about like a 5.3 on JD, because JD provides the efficiency. So if I already know what kind of products I want, JD is good because I trust the logistics, I trust the platforms, and then it's efficient. And then also what we call the verticals, like VIP and then Jumei. These are the verticals. They target particularly at those women consumers aged 18 to 35. So those shopping platforms will provide uniqueness. For example, like Weipinghui VIP, they position themselves as like shopping fiesta. So every time I go there, I will feel something that is unique. Because VIP started with a flash sale. So each flash sale window, they will offer something that is really, really unique. And then and Jumei is a vertical only for beauty products. So they can sell the product from their own expertise, their own understanding of the category. So if you are looking there for a facial foundation, and they will automatically compare the products to give you like expertise recommendation to ease your shopping experience. So this is for cosmetics. And then the next one, sorry, this one. So this one is another like O2O platform that is for travel services. Travel services is also very local, very vertically driven. A lot of the travel packages were sold from platforms like Ctrip or Yilong or Meituan or AliTrip, now newly branded Feizhuwang. So all these shopping platforms provide unique shopping experience. For example, Ctrip, efficiency is very important. Comprehensive is also it's very user behavior driven. And Yilong, traditionally very strong for the hotel packages. So they get a very good price from all the hotel chains. So user can go there from their unique demand and a unique need. And then all these platforms can provide something that can fit that unique shopping needs. So why consumers choose a smaller, sometimes niche platform? The answer is user experience. On those relatively smaller but niche platforms, consumers can get unique shopping experience, which is sometimes difficult to obtain on the huge platforms like Tmall and JD. So just picture ourselves as a JD shopper. I go to JD. when I already have a shopping list that I dig down, in the old days, if I go to Walmart or Carrefour, in France, I have to say Carrefour. And then I already have a shopping list. I know what I will buy, and then I go to JD and then search, and then sometimes I just even copy my shopping cart. So efficiency, convenience is the driver. But if I'm a beauty consumer and I would like to try something that is good, for example, facial foundation, I know that my friends told me that some liquid foundation is better than what I'm using now. Then I need to explore. But this is not the experience JD or Tmall can provide, because Tmall is very individual brand driven. So I go to Jumei or I go to VIP. For example, if I go to Jumei, when I type foundation, they will give me a selection of different foundations. And also I have the functionality to compare the foundation one after another. So that provides me with a unique shopping experience. And then consumers can go to those niche and smaller platforms to gain a personalized, unique shopping experience. Okay. Fashion and beauty. This is also very fast-growing, highly penetrated shopping category. So these are the key players. The font is pretty small, but I can talk about one after another. For shopping and apparel, your own brand assets is still very important. So like Andrea said, that Moleskine have been pushing the brand communication through WeChat. This is also true for fashion and apparel, including beauty as well. So on those websites, the brand, of course, knows their brand equity, knows their brand message better than anyone in the world. So they can push their brand message. Sometimes it's individual, sometimes it's occasional driven. And also on WeChat, if anyone knows that service account, how many times a month you can push your message? No, you can't answer. You, of course, know. 4 times a week, it's once a week. So once a week, you can push your brand content message through your WeChat service account. And then the golden rule of thumb is that out of the 4 messages, 3 of them are general information. You can talk about, for example, new season release. You can talk about a new product launch. You can talk about like a fashion mix and match. But the last one, that is the trigger. The last one has to be personalized. This is what other platforms, like for example, the newspaper or the radio, they cannot provide, is the personalized service. So the last one, the WeChat, can provide you with some locally relevant event. For example, I have a local shop that is open, and then I have a wine tasting event to invite you to come to our store. And this is only available in Shanghai. So I can use my WeChat user database and push this message only to the Shanghai users. Similarly, if I have the same event in Beijing or in Shenzhen, I can push that to a local consumer. And also, from the user behavior and also the interaction, I can slice and dice by user demand and their interest into different categories. So if some of my users are more food and beverage driven, I can push them some personalized information. If some of them are more like experience driven, I can push some like a travel or experience message to them. So that gives the brand the flexibility of communicating the same similar brand message, but in a more personalized way to encourage engagement. So this is what Andrea said early on. Again, what my client says will have to be correct. Brands more and more increase the experience. Once your user fall in love with the experience, it is the same journey they fall in love with the brand. So I have to agree with Andrea that this is absolutely true. And then with all those personalized information, brand message, and then if some brands activate WeChat commerce, that this becomes a shopping platform. And that's unique, it's authentic, and then you trust the brand. The other one, as I said early on, is called Jumei. Jumei provides very vertical expertise in beauty only. So consumer go there, trust the expertise and trust the selection that Jumei is recommending. Korea, by default, it sells only the Korean products. In the last few years, both Korea and Japan merchandise have been very popular in China. So if you have a good supply of the products and then you can help consumer select from various brands and the products, this provides a uniqueness as well. And Xiaohongshu is a focus on cross-border e-commerce for fashion and apparel and also for mom and baby categories. What Xiaohongshu is good at is its social network. Xiaohongshu itself is driven by a lot of people, what in China we call 代购. So a lot of people already on those networks, and they are very actively socially engaging by providing ratings, reviews, comments of those products, and also the shopping experience they have experienced on this platform. So this one, other than providing cross-border expertise, they also created a socially active community for people who have the same interest in in the similar category of products. VIP branded from a flash sale website, and recently they are also transforming to a new shopping experience and also invited a celebrity like Jay Chou here and also some other celebrities for different festivals. What they would like to cascade the platform experience is festival-like shopping. So it's particularly for ladies. I know for men, shopping is a burden. They only shop when they have a need. But for girls, like window shopping, it's purely for fun. If one day I'm stressed, I go in the street, which my husband can never understand. So this one, they provide like a shopping fiesta, a unique shopping experience that you can look for deals, you can look for personalization, you can look for anything that is floral can attract girls. So like a fiesta type of shopping experience is VIP is pushing for. The last one here, just like as an example, is Mogujie. Mogujie target audience is very young, like from 15 years old to 20 years old or 25 years old. So what they are advocating is content driven, because Mogujie started only up to like 2015 is a content only platform. So a lot of like fashion bloggers will write articles about like mix and match, the new fashion trends, etc. And then they will give some shopping website link on their article. So it's more or less like an affiliate website. And only starting from 2015, they have incorporated the e-commerce functionality, but they still carry the DNA of fashion bloggers, which they provide the latest shopping, the trends, and also the mix match and the product information. So that's about like beauty and fashion examples. O2O services. I will have to say, a lot of experience in China is very entrepreneurial. That in the Western, very few or very little experience about this O2O. So one is about travel, Feizhu. It's a newly branded Ali trip. And what they provide is content. The content about the destination, content about food and dining in a destination country, what you can create unique, like, accommodation experience, and then bring people, try to attract consumers with experience that people can read, and then they would like to try, and then they book the travel on this website. The second one is Helijia. Helijia provides a platform that services, particularly for satisfying ladies, manicure, facial, massage, haircut. All those like individual service providers can have a platform, provide their services. And then if I'm the user, I can book them and select a time. They can come to my house to have a massage for me. So what kind of experience is that? Since then, I do not go to beauty salons. I do not go to the manicure salons. I just invite people to come to my house. It's 1 hour at home. I save all the time commuting in the big traffic city in Shanghai. This is Mobike. Mobike is getting trendy because this is providing public shared. It's like Uber, but it's bicycles. So consumers can use Mobike to serve the last mile communication between home and, for example, subway station. Last is Bonap. Bonap is kind of like Yelp-like. In China, there was always been like a 大众点评. It's much, much bigger. But Yelp creates more content. It has its unique, it has its professional experience officer to experience in those like bars and a restaurant, and then provide their expertise reviews, and also create a circle that consumers can also make comments, reviews, and comments. And then hence this becomes a good O2O experience, very robust. Okay, mom and baby. If I would say that since 2015, what category is the fastest growing category, it would never have any doubt. It's the mom and baby category. So because the need is there, and then Chinese moms will always spend as much as possible, as good as possible for anything that is to satisfy their baby. Even though the baby is this big, they do not know what they drink and then what they use for diapers. But still, this is fastest growing because when the middle-class Chinese would like to show that they have a better life, to look after baby is one way to show that they have a better life. So the first platform is VIP. Again, because VIP consumers are young girls, so when they have family, when they start to have kids, that the need is already there. And also the other is called 密友网. So this is very girls-driven. It's more like an app that you can share the most intimate experience with as a girl. So like menstrual control or relationship forum, etc. So this is also very robust in terms of like community type and also only focusing on the topics that girls are interested in. Baby Tree. Baby Tree is the biggest, what we call the word of mouth platform in China for mom and baby categories. So the target audience is what we call -1. So women getting ready to get pregnant, this is -1, and then until their pregnancy, this is about like 9 to 10 months, and also the next 1 year or 1+ year when they have young kids. So this platform also provides a lot of content. A lot of them are very educational, because even though Chinese government just loosened up the second baby policy, but still many young parents, they are only experiencing this period of their life for the first time. And China is growing so fast. A lot of moms, they do not trust what their moms are telling them, because they would think that this is really outdated. I was born in the 80s, and at that time you didn't have much money, and you feed me with soy milk instead of good milk. So now I trust more professionals. I trust the pediatrician doctor. I do not trust my mom anymore, because there is a generational gap. So moms will go to Baby Tree to look after professional and also the community forum type of message. So they will discuss a lot about infant formula milk and also the diapers. The last one is what we call the Miya. Miya is again a cross-border focused vertical app and a vertical website. What is unique is that the founder of Miya herself is a young mother. So she found that it's very difficult for her as a young mother to choose various cross-border products. So she created Miya, and then she created a system for the platform to incentivize users to give their honest ratings and reviews, and hence create a community-driven shopping experience. That's how Miya has started and also has been very successful until today. Okay, I go faster now because there are so many categories. So alcohol and food. The platforms here is like Yes My Wine, Bottles XO, 易国网, and Lema. So some of like Yes My Wine and Bottle XO provide alcohol. Not just the beverage, but alcohol. They provide, like Yes My Wine, they provide professional ratings and reviews from a seller perspective, which wine is better. It's more like a Parker's rating in the US. And then 易国网 provides relatively premium fresh food. So fresh food is always, the trustworthiness of freshness is always a barrier of purchase for many consumers. They would trust to go to the local wet market when the vegetables are very fresh. But online purchase, if I place the order, you deliver like 24 or 48 hours. Whether it's fresh or not is always a question mark. But Yiguo provides a good shopping experience. They have imported food and vegetables, and then they ship to the consumers really within the short period of time. So it's quite a successful model as well. And also Lema. Lema is an O2O website. In China, we call it 外卖. So when I'm in the office, 11:30, I start Lema and pick the food, and they will deliver to my office 12 o'clock. So how convenient that I do not even need to go out. So Lema and also the other like Meituan, etc., they provided this type of O2O experience for food and beverage. Okay, so we talked a lot about different platforms and what they offer. A commonality across some niche and a small platform is what we call the shopping experience and the content-driven marketing, because those platforms provide some content and provide some information exchange within the platform that can drive shopping. But this is true for some categories, but for some other categories, it's not always true. For example, IMF, the infant milk formula. This is fast growing in China, and also on e-commerce, it's very, very fast growing. So at the retail, we see a trend line that is going down, but on e-commerce, it's in the past few years, like a 20% growth. But the two players are very strong. One is Tmall, what we call the Tao system, including Tmall supermarket, and the other is JD. Each has a market share about 39%, close to 40%. So the aggregation of these two already 80%, and the others very small. And a lot of them are really B2C platforms, like Suning. Suning has a sub-platform called Red Baby. It only provides products under the mom and baby category. So why some niche platform will have a bottleneck to develop to this category? The reason is that consumers will have a high requirement of trustworthiness because this is a sensitive category. If I'm a mom, well, actually I am a mom, when I choose IMF, I would first guarantee the formula is good, the brand is good, and also more important, the supply chain is trustable. So I go to JD because I trust JD because they source directly from brands, and then they have their own JD controlled logistics. So there is very little chance that the product is tempered by like a middleman, distributor or warehouse. So trustworthiness is very important. That's why IMF, the growth is still occurring on those like big platforms. That trustworthiness is very important. Okay, so we talked about the different platforms, and we gave some examples of some categories will have unique experience in some like niche and small platforms. So as a brand, how should we find a place in this, in this shopping festival with all those different shopping apps? Again, we would say that there is no formula, like one formula to say that you have to be here, you have to be there. It really depends on first, the stage of development, whether you already have presence in China, this is one thing. Whether you have retail, whether you already have brand awareness, this is another thing. And also, what is your e-commerce strategy? You would like to have your e-commerce as a window that is mimicking your offline experience, your retail, then you could choose, for example, like Tmall, which is official, it's a flagship, and you can have as really similar products and also similar like services as your offline store. Or you would like to take a bit of advantage of the fast growth of e-commerce, and then you may try something new. So as some international brands, when you have a global portfolio, you may try cross-border because cross-border e-commerce gives an easier access for those international brands to have access to the local Chinese consumers without much of like a product registration, brand registration, or importation to bring like containers after containers of product into China at the beginning. So it really depends. So what we are looking at here is what is to build credibility of your brand. So a trustworthy brand is on more than one platform because your brand awareness is already there. Just like when we first work with Moleskine, they already have on digital, they already have WeChat presence, although not for e-commerce. And also on e-commerce platforms, they have already Tmall and a JD, even though like JD is mainly like 3C electronics driven, and then Tmall is more like a bigger marketplace. So, but for Moleskine, it's easier because you already have the brand, you already have your offline presence. So it makes sense that you have your presence also on Tmall and JD. So the trustworthiness of the brand, if you are a trustable brand, then it makes sense to be on more than one platform. The second is uniqueness. It's unique business model or unique resources. Many brands, like fashion apparel brands, will use VIP as the flash sale. So they will sell their end of season or past season merchandise on VIP because VIP is famous for its flash sale mechanism. And then maybe they have their trendy season on platforms like Tmall. So choose a different platform to match the unique business model and the resources is the second consideration. The number 3 is unique content. Unique content meaning that the brand, not just by listing the products, they should also advocating the brand message to the consumers in a unique way. So for example, if your product would like to be on Miya, as I said earlier on, Miya is very community-driven, word-of-mouth driven. Then you need to have a team that is posting content, posting word-of-mouth messages on this platform, enable the brand to sell well on Miya. Similarly for other platforms, for example, even if you are not doing it yourself, but if you would like to sell on the beauty verticals like Jumei, then the brand needs to provide Jumei with its unique brand information so that Jumei can also communicate this uniqueness to the consumers and enable for a sale. So unique content is also what we need to consider when choosing a different platform to sell. And also, users spend more time browsing. If we ask any like category managers on either Tmall or JD, the number 1 priority is driving traffic, because after 5 to 10 years of development, the natural growth, organic growth of e-commerce traffic is coming to a bottleneck when the natural growth doesn't exist anymore. So all the platforms will do a lot of things to attract people onto their platform. That's why in 2016 and now into 2017, like Tmall and the JD are promoting like a discovery, content marketing, live stream, all those like unique ways. The only purpose is to attract more traffic. And then when people spending 80% to 90% of their time on the mobile device, which means that the time spent on the mobile is fragmented, because then people on the way, in the metro, or just walking, or waiting for the lunchbox to arrive, they are on their mobile phone. So the time spent on mobile device is shorter. So then the brand needs to have a strategy. If, for example, live stream, how I fill the live stream of 2 hours to have quality content so that I can engage with my consumers and convince them to stay throughout the 2 hours. So this is a challenge. So the challenge is that the user spend more time browsing. And then last but not the least, absolutely the most important is driving for a conversion. Do you have the last push for your merchandise offer, for your activation to convince consumers to have the final click the button and make the payment? So this is about, all these factors, 5 factors, will help brand define their platform strategy, whether I'm on one platform or I'm on selected platforms. And if I have on multi-platforms, what is my unique platform like traffic and a conversion strategy in order to make a successful business on those platforms. I think I'm close to the end. So can you test the market with niche players? So many brands coming to China for the first time, they were asked that, Tmall, JD, the competition is too fierce. Can I start with niche players? If we would say that if your product is not that unique, we would say that no. And here are the three reasons of why. So unless you are providing something, the product that is really, really unique. Otherwise, Chinese consumers already know the product category really well. And then your challenge will be differentiating your brands. And on a niche platform, to differentiate is more complicated because they do not yet have huge traffic. They do not yet have the attraction and also the awareness compared to other big platforms. So usually, if you want to test the market, niche player probably is not the best option. So the ideal launch process, we are service agency, we are good at branding, we're proud to say so. So the first thing is really evaluating your brand positioning. Do you already have a start point of understand your target audience? Do you already have the right strategy of communicating your brand awareness? And then the third step will be how do you show your official presence, whether you have offline retail or digitally, whether you have your homepage, your .com site, or you have your WeChat. And of course, if everything starting from scratch, we would say that start your official presence on WeChat is the most optimal solution. And also start to set up a flagship on e-commerce is a good starting point for building your brand. And then also to differentiate the flagship. This is all about communicating the right brand message to your consumers. How do you differentiate yourself? For example, if you sell cosmetics, how do you differentiate yourself from like L'Oreal and P&G? So this is something that a brand needs to always striving to make a difference. And then increase repeat purchase. So usually we will say that shopping, e-commerce shopping is a funnel. On the one hand, you are attracting new users, and on the other side, that we are doing everything possible to stop the drain so that consumers can stay with us. This is very true for luxury products, luxury brand, because brand loyalty is what only luxury brand can have when they are born. And also for fast-moving consumer goods, FMCG, when they start to build a habit of purchasing your brand on this platform, a good CRM program can help retain the customers. Mom and baby is also true. Cosmetics are also true. So this, from step 1 to step 5, will help brand to have a healthy brand growth on e-commerce when you plan to start in China market. Okay, that's the end.